volunteering staff element of our corporate strategy relates to how we're actually going to be developing, recruiting and supporting the volunteers and staff that we will actually be recruiting over the next 5 years. My role as a volunteer development officer hopes to make volunteering as easy as possible for people when they actually join our organisation, and also for our existing volunteers to make sure they get the best out of their experience as volunteering with the Red Cross as they can. We've actually developed in London a recruitment plan for 2010 so that we actually know which volunteers in services we'll be recruiting, and we've actually set up training as well so that once somebody comes in they can engage with the organisation as soon as possible and actually get some connection with the organisation as well. Volunteers are such an important part of the strategy, I feel, and certainly without them we wouldn't be able to do the work that we'd actually be doing. My dream is for volunteers to get the best experience they can when they're volunteering with the Red Cross and helping vulnerable people, and hopefully they'll be getting some personal reward as well.
Positioning for me is letting people know who we are, what we do, why we do it, and probably most importantly of all, how people can get involved, whether that's using one of our services, donating money or becoming a volunteer. I work in media relations, so every day is spent talking to journalists about the amazing work our staff and volunteers do across the country every day. We've always had pretty amazing stories to tell, but this new strategy will pave the way for us to be more vocal about the issues that matter to us and most importantly to our beneficiaries, and hopefully we can start advocating change for them. Working in communications, I can't see a better place to do that work than the Red Cross. We've got such a unique brand and reputation. People really want to hear what we've got to say, and we're going to have a lot to say over the next 5 years.
Organizational development is really about making sure that we can easily see how activities support our mission, but also to be able to measure the impact that we have. Because it's really important for us to ensure that we get the best out of every part of the organization to deliver the strategy. And to do this will improve the way we share information, but also the way we learn from beneficiaries and from each other. And the goal is to stop reinventing the wheel and to make better use of examples of good practice. And so my role in this, as part of the monitoring and planning team, is to make sure that we do what we said we would do, and also to report that to the organization and to show the impact we're having on the lives of vulnerable people. Because to me it's really important for us to be accountable to our beneficiaries, to our donors, but also internally to each other. For me, enabling Priority 7 is really exciting development for the Red Cross, and we've got some really exciting and motivating goals.
We're responsible in the direct marketing team for recruiting lots of new supporters, and also my specific role is developing our relationships with all our existing donors. We've got amazing staff here at the Red Cross and we've got amazing volunteers, but it's also really important to remember that we've got fantastic supporters as well. We get support from corporate partners, from our trusts, our community supporters, and we also have support from literally hundreds of thousands of people every month who we deal with in our individual giving department. In fact, we've got enough supporters who give to us each month to fill Wembley Stadium 4 times over. Now my job is also to develop the relationships with our existing supporters, those people to fill Wembley Stadium 4 times over, and we do that through sending out literally millions of direct mail pieces every year. We also phone hundreds of thousands of people, and my colleagues also work with our external fundraising partners who are very much part of the British Red Cross, and they last year knocked on 9 million doors to spread the word of the Red Cross and to talk to various people about the work that we do and how important the support is to us. This part of the strategy is so important, funding, because without funding it wouldn't be possible to do any of the work that we've got planned. It's up to me and in my team and our department and the wider fundraisers to raise that money from the public and to communicate the wonderful work of the Red Cross in as passionate a way as we possibly can. The great thing about this strategy is that it's a long-term strategy, and that fits in perfectly with what we say to our donors. We stress the need for long-term support, and like I mentioned earlier, we have these hundreds of thousands of donors who give to us every single month, and they're going to be giving to us for the long term. And so with them and with their support and with the wider support of all our different funding partners, we'll be able to achieve that strategy, I'm sure.